Move you over here. Let's do invite. Let's copy, paste, enter. There we go. Close. Close. We're live. Okay. People can hear me. Yes, and yes. I will open up this now. We are live, so now I can see other comments. There we go. New PC build. All right, so we got a couple things to do. I need to look in this box. Got all the little goodies that are in this box. Toss that away. Hey, Minnesota Maker, how are you? Guess I'm going to have to put on my headphones if I want to hear people. There we are. And we got standoffs. And we got screws. And more screws. And more screws. And more screws. And more screws. So in case you're wondering, I am building the brand new PC. And we're using my top down, that one right there. Boop. And we're building a new PC. Hey, Rick, how are you? I am looking for the little booklet. There it is. I can hear you typing, Rick, but I can't hear you. Hi, anything works, he says. Does this thing come in English? Oh, yeah. There we go. First couple of pages. So I've got room at the front for more fans. That's good. We're streaming this. Hey, we got Jerry's Projects. Hey, Jerry. I'm just putting together the new streaming PC right here. So you won't be able to see me, but you'll be able to see the new streaming PC. Put that in there for a moment. Rick, I hear you.
Yeah, I just wonder if anything does work.
Yeah, sounds like it's working.
Okay. I realize to turn all this.
I am getting out the little doodad.
So putting
Go ahead.
What kind of motherboard?
I am using the MSI 370 SLI plus.
And what class is that? Like Core 7 or something?
This is a 8th gen motherboard, Intel motherboard. So I'll be using a 6-core CPU on this motherboard with 12 threads, which will help our issues significantly when it comes to our streaming at the studio. Here at home, I'm using a little bit more, well, a little bit more up-to-date version than the one I'm using at the shop, but or in the studio, and I can't bring this one there because I do all my household stuff on it. So I had to put out the bat signal so we could get enough stuff to build a new streaming box at the shop. So that's kind of what we did here. So
Would that board cost, and how much would it cost to populate it?
The board itself was $200, $235, I think. The CPU's right in that $400 range. And then and then the RAM was donated to us by one of our members. Board and chipset as well. So we've got a Cooler Master liquid cool going in there. This was pretty much built by our community, or at least the parts for it came from the community. And we just picked up the case today because the case I was going to put it into wasn't big enough.
Now, if you're going to use liquid cooling with it, don't you have to modify the case a little bit if it wasn't built that way in the first place?
Yeah, this one, fortunately enough, was built that way, so it'll accept a radiator at the top or at the front of the PC, which is a big bonus for me because I can pull the fan off that's right here, and I can stick that in the top if I want, or someplace else on the motherboard. Now, the one thing that this doesn't have is hard drive cages that I can see. They might be hidden somewhere. Nope. There's no hard drive cages on this particular mother or particular unit. Oh, that's because there's sleds on the backside. That's why.
Oh. So using ethylene glycol?
I'm sorry?
Ethylene glycol.
I'm not sure what you're meaning.
That's what you're using for your cooling method.
Oh no, we're going to use the Liquid Master all-in-one ML240. I don't fuss with pipes and crap like that. It's just too much of a pain in the ass.
So it's just a one-piece sealed system, and you just slap it in there, and that's it. Okay.
Yes. Hey, Rover, I see you there. Rover's over in our chat on YouTube. He is monitoring our chat tonight. And I'm going to move that out of my way because I don't need it at the moment. But now I'm going to put in the I/O shield.
And basically what I'm trying to do is get 3D printer equipment to work correctly.
Okay, what's the problem you're having?
I'm trying out a new Titan
Okay.
hot end.
Yep.
And I understand that's got 2 times the stand have.
You keep kind of cutting out there a little bit.
Yeah. And trying to just get a smooth, consistent flow of plastic through the thing. It's kind of difficult.
Okay. As far as the Titan goes, I haven't used the Titan myself, but It shouldn't be that difficult to get a smooth, consistent flow going.
Well, I think if you're familiar with the MK8 type hot end, now the older one than that, ear on it.
Yeah.
I thought it was the same, basically the same thing.
Okay. It should very well be. Brian, what have you got to say about that? I see you're in there.
Yeah, sorry, I'm just I'm fighting with OBS getting it running here. That's why you get the blue screen of death on my side.
Well, we're seeing the blue screen over here too.
Yeah, that's because I'm routing you to my Hauppauge TV tuner for the moment.
Oh, gotcha.
So sorry, what was your issue there?
Trying to get a Titan hot end to work correctly on a Prizza. And you yank the original MK8 hot end off and put a new Titan type driver on it because I needed something. I'm printing in nylon, and I needed something to keep up.
Right.
To give me an even plastic flow at a high temperature.
And where's it going wrong?
It is too much plastic.
Oh, it's over extruding?
Yes.
And you put in just the new the extruder, right? You didn't modify your hot end or anything, right?
Oh, I put a Volcano on there.
Okay, yeah. The Volcano is awesome. Now I don't know that one in particular, the Titan. I haven't worked with it, but I would assume the issue is that your extruder steps per millimeter are now way out of the park.
And I can't be a programmer, so I don't know how to adjust the firmware to go. I think it's set at 1,000 steps.
It's entirely possible.
I'm not exactly sure.
Yeah, each stepper is so let me look it up and see if I can get you a number. 1 second.
Yeah. Are you familiar with John Foger?
I am not. No.
Well, he is a mail order company that supplies mail order printers that you put together yourself.
Right.
And I got one. I got two of his. They're called 2020s, and they're just a common Prizza i3 with a slightly different twist. The C motors are on top. Gantry, the X gantry down compared to everybody else's machine.
Right. Unfortunately, I'm not pulling up defaults. Actually, I do have a couple here. Do you happen to know how many degrees the stepper is on that one? If it's a 1.8 or a 0.9?
Right. 1.8.
Okay. I found a post here, discussion online. They're saying the default steps per millimeter for the Titan at 1.8 is 418.5.
Okay. And how to adjust that in I know it's in configuration H.
Mm-hmm. You're running Marlin, the latest one, 1.1.9?
Whatever came with it.
Oh, okay.
That's whatever he gave me with it, because I've tried to use other versions. Which is from all the switches on the way.
Yeah, there's
your end stop switch. The end stop switches are all on the right. on the standard Prizza, all the switches are on the left.
Yeah, I can get quite backwards real quick. Let me see if I have access to my Google Drive here and if I can pull this up. You know what? I'll just pull up the browser here. Let's see if we can find it here. Sorry for folks who I'm not watching the YouTube chat though. So if you're saying anything, just let me. I'll take a look at it in just a minute here.
Good place to start. I have many Titans. Oh, okay. There's a 3D printing trucker. He's saying he's got a couple of Titans. I got one screw that just doesn't want to thread properly.
Well, by habit, I take a tap and run a tap down those just in case, because I've accidentally pushed down too hard on a motherboard and snapped one.
I've never done that. I just got one miserable little one that just doesn't want to play nice.
Well, I would eyeball it good, because you know how our Chinese companions are. They don't always thread things correctly.
All right, so I found it on the. I just went over to the Marlin GitHub because I just didn't. This is the one PC that I don't actually have any of my setup on. So you can see this line here. It's at line 604 on the latest Marlin, but the definition will still be the same, and that's default axis steps per unit.
See that.
And what this does, this breaks down your steps for each motor, your X, your Y, your Z, and then your extruder. And if you add additional arguments, that would be for additional extruders.
500 on the right side of that.
This one right here?
Right, yes. I need to turn that down or turn it up.
That one, you're going to want to bring that down to the 418.5 that we had found on Google.
418.5. My other question is, if I needed to slow down the machine to the point where, you lay a layer of plastic down, and you want to give it a dwell time for the plastic to set before laying down the next layer.
Are you using Cura to slice?
Yeah, Cura to work correctly.
Yeah, because
on the newer computers, I couldn't get Cura to work with this machine correctly. It would just go all over the place, and it would not. It would just make a glob on the printer. But
yeah,
what I've rigged is an older 2-core machine. And I had an old antique version of Simply 3D.
Ah, okay.
Trying to run on R9, and that ran perfectly.
Now, I'll be the bearer of bad news here. Basically, yes. Simplify 3D does not have a minimum layer time that I've come across.
Yes.
But Cura does. So I'm running the 3.1 here, which is pretty recent. I don't even normally run it on this PC. So
okay, but I was using 15.2, and I got, but I had feed problems. Nylon would chew up the gear,
right,
and the feed motor.
That's completely fair. So the setting you'd want to look for in Cura, is called the minimum layer time.
Yes.
And it's hidden by default, but once you enable it, we'll go to the custom view here for cooling. Minimum layer time spent in a layer forces the printer to slow down to at least spend the time here on one layer. So it will slow down the movement speed too, so it doesn't just sit there and dwell.
Because I had it move too quickly, and it would grab the previous layer and yank it.
Ugh.
before it would set, because it would stick together, and it kind of like dragging, it was still like hot chocolate on there.
Oh,
and
wow.
it would grab it, and then it would, then if it got enough, if you just left it alone, because it would yank this particular nylon sticks based glass glued with just a mirror glass, a layer of like school glue, and a layer of construction paper.
Okay.
And then this nylon will stick beautifully to that. When you want to remove it, you take the glass and go to the kitchen sink. Everything's water soluble.
Absolutely, yeah. With enough persistence, everything is soluble in general.
But this works better. It works better because I've tried hairspray. It will not work with nylon, but it work with ABS and PLA. That's fine for that. And the painter's tape and all that. That works fine for that. But this particular this ordinary nylon weed eater line.
Right.
In my part of the world, there's a chainsaw manufacturer that had a bad wine. It was rejected, and all they did is threw the stuff in the trash.
Mm-hmm.
Thousands of feet of this stuff, and I've gotten some of it to print very beautifully, and then some things, this trying to come up with something that where I get a feed head that actually works.
Right.
There's nothing wrong really with the software. It's a matter of getting these switches to work identically. That's all.
Yeah, I've avoided nylon like the plague because I just don't have the time to dial my machine in for it. But from what I've heard, it's pretty awesome to work with once you do get it going right.
There is a trick to it.
Yes, it takes patience, like anything else, though. But with my local maker space, they taught me how to run and I had to learn all this mess myself the hard way.
Yeah, that's the. Well, I mean, I'm working through tons of PLA right now, so I even went the PETG route, and as much as I enjoy it, I found it's a bit too finicky unless I'm printing mechanical parts. So my printer is doing PLA great, so I'm just trying to stick with it for the time being.
And have you got a PLA to actually hold up, or say making mechanical pieces of like a cell phone case? Will it hold up?
I haven't done anything for a cell phone case yet, but I played with a few of the newer PLA pluses and so forth, and they seem to have a lot of strength in them. I just haven't put them through any crazy durable tests yet. I must have been printing stupid figures I find online,
Making handles for your hex drivers.
Yeah, nothing. Well, really, I haven't. Honestly, it's mostly just been toy figures. I hate to say it,
But and originally, what I've done is I bought one as a complete kit, and then I pieced together a second machine.
Right.
And I just bought the frame from Foger, and then made the rest of the pieces myself.
Gotcha.
Ended I one for 175 and one for 3mm.
Nice.
And they have identical. You know, the machine's exactly the same as for the size of filament it was set up for.
Well, that's awesome. Hey, we got success.
So the over is running too fast. That would cause the print to come out like looking like a sponge.
Yeah, you do have to print extremely slow on a lot of these filaments. I mean, don't get me wrong. I've ran my printer at 270 mils per second just for a laugh, but you know, even PLAs I'm running at 45 to 60 for the cleanest print. PET G 30 and nylon, I would assume you want even slower. So if it's blobbing like that, I'm assuming it's compensating by having too high of a temperature to maintain a higher speed.
But even if I got the feed speed at half, the way this particular dial is set up, it's 100 at the normal feed speed is at 100. So I got it speed.
Yeah, it's hard to see.
3D on the Simply 3D. It's got two controls. You can turn the speed down and turn the extruder down.
Right.
That doesn't seem to do anything.
Yeah, I'm at an absolute loss for that one. Oh, let's see why.
Why don't you want to go in straight, you little bastard?
I've just been trying to get this camera to show up, but it just does not want to show up.
Man, these screws, holy Christ, they're fucking horrible.
Maybe the wrong. There's a difference in size of screws. One is intended to put the floppy drives in, and one is for the card slots.
I've got the right screws, that I know.
You should go hit your bucket of M3s.
You know, what I should have done was just replaced all those standoffs in here because they're all fucking garbage.
Yeah.
Pardon my language.
I've ran into that numerous of times where I had to go and get the tap out of them.
I'm not going to go that far.
I know, because I've had a nightmare.
Come on, you sons of bitches. There we go. It's a good thing they give you a lot of them. I hate these screws. Really hate them.
Well, you're lucky you got something that would fit.
Hang on, I gotta kick Chrome here. I will be back in just a moment.
Okie doke. I haven't looked at the chat, so I don't know what's going on over in the chat.
So with the liquid cooling, do you need the forced air ventilation at all?
You still do need some forced air ventilation, and that goes on the what do you call it there? It goes on the radiator. So it definitely helps.
Then the motherboard's onboard fan controls the liquid cooler.
Yes.
So when there's nothing, it's sit at idle, so it'll cut at idle.
No. It's all controlled now through the BIOS. So fan headers, unlike the old days, where you only had like 3 fan headers and they were either on or they were off. Now there's a huge difference in the way that motherboards control fans, and because they now have a new sort of system where they can, damn it all anyway. God, I hate these damn. Where the actual motherboard now controls the speed of the fan, so it'll speed them up or slow them down as you need it to. God damn it.
And when it comes to ATX power supplies,
Yeah.
I presume in this case, this is in the bottom.
Yeah, it's going to go down
yeah.
here.
Yes.
Down in this area here.
And that also has some kind of a different system in it than the normal ATX 23 pin cable when it goes to the motherboard.
No, it's still 24 pin. Bastard. Jesus.
But the video card in that is what got extra self-powered thing off the power supply.
Yes, everything.
It's like a 4-pin or 6-pin plug.
Yeah, it's a 4-pin plug. Give me 1 second. I'm going to do what I never ever do here. But I'm going to find, and everybody's going to cringe as soon as I do this, is I'm going to find a drill. I'm going to get these damn things seated, even if I got to strip them. The worst thing about this case is they're not perfectly lined up with the holes. So give me 1 moment.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's not going to fit in there.
That do any good at all, or you snapped it?
Where did I put that other piece I just had in my hand? I see the comments now. Richard, don't do it.
You make sure that you got that piece of tin
Oh yeah, it's
on that
it's all lined
on
up.
where all the cables plug in.
Yeah,
I've had those pop off.
I just got to find out where I put the handle for this thing, which I just had moments ago. This is gonna be fun. Where the fuck did I put the handle? Welcome to my world, Internet. Welcome to my world. Just had it. What did I do with it? Get that one out of there. Come on out there now, you bastard. Oh, you're out. Garbage.
Well, I guess you have to take out the motherboard and replace those standoffs now.
I'm gonna have to, yeah. I got 3 of them that don't want to line up.
The first thing I can think of that tin piece of tin that goes over the port up properly and dropping the slot. It's
Talking
not
about
been
the
right.
shield?
Yes.
Yeah, the IO shield's sitting properly. That is for sure.
But it's got 2 prongs that kind of match up with the case or something.
Yeah, that's all sitting properly.
Yes.
Oh, I lost the other side of my screwdriver.
Oh.
Where did you go? Well.
I guess when people tell me I have some talent in fixing these IBM computers, they kind of laugh.
Well, I've been building PCs since PCs actually started to be built. My very first PC was in a wooden box. I bought it from the back of Popular Science magazine and built a wooden box around it. Because there was no case at the time.
Well, I started with all kinds of Commodore stuff when I started, back some 40 years ago now. Why my experience lays, a lot of people say, "Oh, what in the hell was that?"
Yeah, I hear you. I think I'm gonna have
to. If it doesn't say Apple on it, they don't know what it is.
Well, I think there's a few people that might know what it is. What in the hell did I do with the other half of that screwdriver? Chat, please tell me what I did with
on
my
the floor.
No, it's not on the floor. At least I don't think it is. No. Hey Brian, you know that cyber power I picked up at that office going out of business sale?
Yeah.
That thing still works like a charm.
Really?
Yes, sir.
Fantastic.
I may have to put in brand new standoffs on these things because the standoffs in this case are fucking horrible. I may have to put in some brass ones at the shop.
Yeah.
But, and I lost the rest of my screwdriver, Brian.
Huh.
I don't know what the hell I did with it. That's all I've got left.
This is not our strongest day, is it?
No, it is not. And people are probably just laughing in the, you know, if you go to the chat on YouTube, you'll be able to see everything.
But
you see everybody's chat.
Experience with OnePlus drills.
My experience with OnePlus drills, pretty good.
And I've been given maybe at least a dozen of the batteries that don't work. And then if they were, I was investing in a little bit of tools around here. I've got a lot of laptops, a whole case of laptops with new laptop. And I was busting those open and using them in a flashlights. But if those Ryobi batteries are worth retooling.
I've got Ryobi batteries. I think they're great. I will say this about this case, Brian. It's got two 5 1/4-inch bays right here that are toolless. And it's got two SSDs right here. And then I can put two SATA or two M.2 drives on top of the motherboard, which is a bonus. Well, let's get the power supply put in while I figure out where I lost all my crap to. So this is the power supply that we're going with. I don't know if everybody can see that the right way around. It's a big one.
It's a decent power.
It's a 80 plus gold. So I'm pretty confident in it.
It's got a good ball bearing type fan in it and real quiet.
Yeah, it's very highly rated, so I'm pretty happy about that.
I got basically the same brand in one of mine. It's probably at 650 or 550 or 600 or something like that.
I've always been a Corsair power supply kind of guy. I've always had Corsairs in my machines. And this is the first time I bought an EVGA. And this thing's a bit of a monster. Holy shit, look how thick that book is.
Well, that was dumb.
What was dumb?
I've been trying to get this OBS streamer working on the video, and what ended up happening was I had an application called DroidCam installed, which was somehow taking over the instance ID, so it would never show up.
Oh. So this power supply is a monster. It's just so people can see there. We've got 3 SATAs, 2 peripherals, VGA out the wazoo, CPU, and motherboard. Wow.
Hey, Rich, can you bring your mic up a bit there? You're coming in pretty quiet, actually.
That's because I don't want anybody to hear me swear.
So we are going fan down on this one. Fan down.
Yeah. Now the standard ATX power supply that's familiar with in the older machine, when you got a fairly new case, the width of the power supply is wider in an older power supply and board.
Oh yeah. Okay. Time to turn this back up on its end. There we go. Let's line up some holes. That's what she said. Believe me, tonight is not family friendly. So if there are any children watching, go to bed. You have school tomorrow. Watch, all of our chat just went dead because they all got to go to school tomorrow. Okay, let's take a look at chat for a few minutes while you look at the very top of this case in my big fat hand. Who do we got here? We got who didn't I say? We got 3D printing trucker. Okay, I said hi to him. Rover's doing a good job moderating. Jake from State Farm. State Farm, you're in our hands. Isn't that the slogan for those guys? Then who else do we got here? We got Krieg 3D Printing Space, Minnesota maker. I did say hi to him. I hate family friendly. Not this old man, LOL. All right. You know, Brian, we should start writing a new show, This Old Computer.
Man, you almost had the theme play in my head, you know?
We'll get a bunch of guys in and we'll do a roundtable on how not to build a computer.
Oh, so we're going now it's becoming a computer improvement.
Well, you know.
When you get the 8-bit guy that is rebuilding antiques.
Yeah, he just put out another video today, actually.
I think it's rebuilding a portable one. I think that was what he posted lately. Similar to that K-Pro one that he rebuilt.
Yeah, he was doing that.
Of course,
sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, then people were rebuilding junk on the on the net to some of it's entertaining, some of it's not, but most of it won't work today on present day systems anyway. But they're putting together these antiques.
You know, what kind of frickin' peripheral company sells you a black power supply and gives you friggin' silver screws?
I think they just love to get to you.
Well, you got to go and paint your own screws.
Today they're getting to me. Give you silver screws. What a bunch of idiots. Well, at least they go in nice, I think.
Yeah. How old of a version of Java do I have to run to get YawCam to work?
I don't know, Brian.
This is pretty terrible.
Well, I actually see your video feed on this.
Yeah, you're getting the
fine.
Yeah, we're getting him in a small corner. That's how Brian likes it. He likes to be in the corner.
That I do.
Are you frickin' kidding me? Oh yeah, there's a wall there. Oh, God. That screw. There we go. This old computer build.
So just figured out the hard way of how to a computer together and put one program on it, and then put it in that one program in the start menu. And as soon as you turn it on, that one program that you put in there starts.
Yeah, this is a streaming and editing computer, so I have many programs that'll be going at the same time. Now,
Use Pinnacle or something different.
No, I'm using vMix for my streaming and recording, and then I use Adobe Suite for all of my other goodies.
Mm-hmm.
So for those of you just catching or just that have just come aboard and are just starting to watch now, this is the build that we've been trying to do from the beginning because we need a brand new system, and we are at that stage of the game now where we need to build a brand new system. I'm just going to loosen off all these so I have some playroom. I think that could be part of my problem. Of course, this one is
high def streaming video that I'm looking at and you put this together with, right?
This video that you're seeing now is just 720 actually.
Yeah. It's just as sharp as a standard definition picture anyway. Probably all it is.
Yeah, this is only 720 right now.
Yeah.
Right around to the big one. Christ sakes. Yeah, I think I'm going to have to bring home all my standoffs from the shop tomorrow, Brian. I don't think I have any left here at home. That doesn't even want to come out now.
So that works fine for YouTube video in real time?
Yes. Yeah, I'm using a C920 camera.
Mm-hmm.
So C920 can do 1080p. Let me just put this mic up. Can you hear me better now? It does 1080p, but I think that for the purpose of Hangouts and streams, it's not really necessary to do 1080p.
Because the bandwidth would cause the picture not to run in real time, the shutter.
Yeah, well, I've got 150 down, and I think it's 25 up.
Mm-hmm.
So I've got pretty good bandwidth. I got pretty good bandwidth. Oh yeah.
Well, from the video feed I see is sitting there next to you, looking over your shoulder.
Oh, I'm going to sit down here for a minute. So I can get this one out.
Which is just as good as that guy from Australia. What's his name? Has tear down or take it apart type of thing, many different things, and he opens his email with the big buck knife.
Oh, I'm not sure who that is.
Crocodile Dundee type of thing. Well, this is interesting. Well, with those standoffs, it's probably there's like 2.2 and 2.5.
I think these are all 2.2s.
Yeah, and sometimes they're just not threaded right.
That's the problem that I'm having. So I'm going to replace all of these tomorrow. So right now I'm going to put this back in the bag. And where did I put the pop in bag? There it is. Not go in the bag till tomorrow. Get some standoffs that actually work. These Chinese ones are freaking garbage. And we will continue this stream. Well, I'm going to just change cameras. What the hell? Okay. How can I change cameras? I go like this. Oh, now I'm upside down. You guys don't want to see that camera?
Yep, I see you quite all right, but you are upside down, yes?
Yes. I should be able to change cameras here. Cameraman. No, I don't need a cameraman. Control room. There we go. Nope, not control room either. Oh, there it is. All right, let's change to the... I'm going to set this up. Plug this one in. That should come up now. There we go.
Okay, I got it running perfect now.
There. As I wreck the place. So now I can see. Why is that one still upside down?
I don't think there's anybody in this industry is actually neat and tidy.
No, well, I'm trying to build out this room, but more shit gets added to this room day by day. So, yeah.
Well,
I may have to. Go ahead.
Stuff piled to the ceiling.
So we've got 2 of these. If that'll focus, maybe it won't. Maybe it will. We got 2 Kingstons to go into this. That'll be my boot drive and my scratch disk. Or actually my, not so much scratch disk, but it'll end up being the cache drive. And
those be RAID?
I can put RAID on them, yes, but I'm not going to. Not until I get the M.2 SATA drives, or M.2 NVMe drives onto the board. Then I will do that. And on the back side of the cabinet, I'm going to end up doing 2 hard drives back there, just strictly for storage. And then we should be good. We'll put the radiator in the top. I've got a
And the OS doesn't need a backup, does it?
The OS, I'm going to use Windows 10 Professional for this build. Now that should come off there. Oh, it doesn't.
Does it do its own backup?
I can set it to yes. I can actually set it to. So anybody that wants to come into the live stream can, if you guys are up for it.
Yeah, I'm just gonna dash to the other room. It looks like I've got this working happily. I just gotta move the camera to see a better shot of the print.
Gotcha. So yeah, I think I'm going to take out all these standoffs, and then I'll put in brand new ones tomorrow. Use brand new screws. That'll work better. So Brian, did we put the link to this over on Facebook? I don't think we did.
That's probably how I stumbled on you. Somebody sent me an invite from there.
Yeah, I'm just gonna
the first layer there, right there.
Okay, that's links for that. We got 8 viewers. Where's my invite button? There we go. So I'm going to put this in the chat. Are you guys ready? Here we go. Putting it in the chat. Paste. And enter. There you go. Anybody that wants to come in and join, there's still plenty of room. You guys can talk with us, chat with us. Tell me how freaking stupid I am tonight. What am I building? Red's asking. Red, what is his name? Red 1 34 GHT. Oh, Red Light 34. Yes, I'm old. I am building a 8700K Intel 6-core 12-thread new streaming box for the studio. So that's what we are building. For anybody that wants to know. And I am putting water cooling into it. It's an all-in-one. I'm using this guy right here.
Terribly expensive.
No, that was less than $100. So what kills me right now is the cost of like chips. It just kills me how much chips are so freaking expensive. We got donated this guy. We got donated the 1050 Ti, so that's going to go in here. I mean, if I wanted this to be a gaming rig, it would be a fine, more than fine gaming rig. But yeah, Rover, I know a lot about nanites. I've used it many times in the past for other builds that I've done. This machine, you got to understand, is not going to get a lot of extras because it is going to be designed for really 2 purposes. One will be to, of course, stream. The other will be to record and do video production work on. So it's great. It'll be great for doing Premiere Pro, which is something that I use. It'll be great for using After Effects, again, which is something that I use. And it's got enough airflow coming through. I think I'll probably end up putting in different fans in the front. I think this one can take, let's see how big it can take. How big can it take it? Bum, 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 bum. Come on, give me English. So I can put 3 120s in, or I can put 2 140s in. So I may change the 120 that's in the front of this because it's RGB. And what is it with RGB? Why does everything have to be RGB? Drives me nuts. I don't care about pretty colors. I'm not a millennial.
Yeah. Standard high definition video card. It's fine.
Well, the video card that's going in here, the capture card, is the one that we have in the previous machine, and that is a Blackmagic Intensity Pro 4K card. So that'll be going in this machine. And then we use a ATEM television studio to get all of our cameras into the PC. So really the television studio is doing all of the heavy lifting when it comes to the encoding. Who won the 3D pen? Rover's asking. Rover, that was, let me just open up Face Crack here and I'll tell you. And that pen is going out tomorrow. The winner was Howard Lawson. Howard Lawson won the Sunlu 3D pen. That was drawn on Saturday morning because the contest didn't finish till midnight Friday night. So, yeah, Howard Lawson won the 3D pen.
Are those things any good together?
The 3D pens?
Yes.
It depends what you want to do with them. For me, because I do a lot of model building and figure painting and that kind of stuff, they're great for filling in seams on models. That's what I use them for. I know there's some very artistic people that can use them just like a paintbrush and create three-dimensional objects like a 3D printer would. But that's not how I use it.
What kind of heat can you get out of it?
Yeah, the pen that I've got is this one here. Actually, I got it right close to me. Is the Sunlu 300. This is my pen, and this thing will print PCL.
I think it was PLA and ABS, right?
PLA and ABS, yes. But it will. I found that it will do PET-G as well. It can't go high enough to do PET-G.
Oh, like 240 or better?
I think it gets up to right around 230, I think.
Yeah, it's set for 170 for the PLA, so I would assume about 230 for the ABS.
If anybody is looking for 16 gigabyte thumb drives, I found these at Walmart for $5 a piece.
Oh.
That's Canadian, $5 a piece.
Oh, okay.
So US will be even cheaper than that.
So, I'll have a look.
Sorry, Rover, it wasn't you. Sorry. So, Brian, what do you think we should do on the front of this? We can add 2 140s in the front.
Well,
or 3 120s.
I think airflow wise, you'll do better with 3 120s.
Sucking from the front and blow out the back.
Yeah, blowing out the back and the top.
I'm not sure if I'll be able to get my camera in on my rig, but that's what I've got. I'm not sure if it's going to show up too well here, but I've got 3 Noctuas in the front, one in the back, and then I've got inside more exhausting upwards.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I could actually put the radiator at the front of this if I really wanted to. And I'm thinking actually I might. I think by putting the radiator at the front, it might give me a little bit of better airflow.
Yeah, if you can do the front mount, front is the way to go for the rads.
Yeah, because this doesn't have a mesh on the front. It's a solid front and the mesh is on either side. So I may end up putting that at the front now that I think about it.
Now, is it a good idea to put a one of those washable air conditioner filters, a piece of that in front of the fan so you don't suck dirt
I've never found.
inside?
Yeah, I've never found that to be necessary. Those can actually hinder airflow inside of your cabinet. You want to keep more air coming in than you're pushing out, because the more cool air coming in, so you want to create, what is it, a positive or a negative? I can't remember which. I think it's positive airflow in to the machine, so everything stays cool. If I put the radiator on the front, then it's sucking air in from the front across the radiator fins and blowing across the video card and the heater water, or the CPU water block, and any other cards that I've got in there. The nice thing now with this, what I like about this case, is the fact that they've got all of the drives now hidden behind the solid panel. So all of those drives, you're never going to see them. And if I got to access them, all I got to do is pull off that panel, and I don't have to really monkey with anything on the glass side, because this has got a glass panel that goes on it.
SSD, do they dump a lot of heat?
SSDs don't, for the most part.
No, they run cool.
They run fairly cool. And I think these two, where we're going to locate them, which is going to be right on the backside of the motherboard tray, is going to help. The ones that do run hot are the M.2s. They apparently can run pretty hot. So
now, I'm thinking of storage like that. Now, the commercial grade hard drives, like the green or blue Seagate, of either a Seagate or Western Digital, I forget which brand now, but they're the AV quality drives that are fished out of cable boxes, and I pulled 4 terabytes out of some of these cable boxes that I've scrapped. And they're nice commercial quality ones, but I'll probably get a lot of life out of it. In my video storage boxes, got a box that's probably got about 8 of these in it.
Wow. Yeah, this is eventually going to see probably 2 10 terabyte Barracuda Pros on the back for storage. That way, right now what's happening is I have to bring a lot of my video home to edit it on the 3770 processor that I have here at home. That was the second build that I did, and this 3770 is 6 years old.
You have a yankable hard drive module that you dump all that video on, then take it home and edit?
No, fortunately enough, the files are small enough that I can just put them on a portable drive and just bring them home.
So it's nothing like trying to drag a whole cart full of 2-inch reel-to-reel videotapes home.
Correct.
And you need a gorilla to help carry it.
Been there. Yeah, this one that I've got here at home is a 4-core, 8-thread, 3.5 gigahertz. This one's overclocked to 3.9. And it still works great. I mean, it's great for here at home. The memory type is 133 or 1600, or 1333 or 1600 DDR3. If it had DDR4, I would have just snagged the DDR4 out of that and put it into this machine, but it didn't. So we've got us 1 stick of DDR4 that's going into this for now. It's a little underpowered. It's a 2400 stick, but
is
just to get us up and running
necessary?
It depends on if you're overclocking or not. It depends if you're buying budget RAM. If you're buying budget RAM, they usually don't get that warm. But if you're buying the higher end stuff like the Patriot or the Predators or the high end Kingston stuff, I think you're gonna need the heat spreaders. And with the way people are using their machines today, I find a lot more people are gaming than more so than what I'm doing. I have an Xbox if I want to game, so. We've still got room in the Hangout, guys, if anybody wants to join.
Yeah.
The link is in the description or in the chat here on YouTube. I'll paste it one more time. There we go. Where's the rest of our crew tonight? How come they're not joining us? Oh, because they're all offline.
Really?
Yeah.
So you're out of Canada.
Yes. I am in Calgary, Alberta. So is Brian.
Yeah.
Brian's kind of the new addition to our team, although he's been around with us for a long time.
I just showed up and didn't leave, so
yeah, and you had good information, so we kept you.
Yeah, there you go.
And once in a while, we feed them, throw them a bone. And if it wasn't for him, we wouldn't have these problems with all the standoffs tonight.
Yeah. But yeah, I couldn't wait a day, So
well, I could wait till I could have waited till.
No, I'm thinking I couldn't.
You couldn't, but now we have to anyway.
Yeah.
Look at the bundle of SATA crap that they give you.
But the ones you don't use, you're not. Then it saves on trying to keep the case neat.
That's true. They got 4 CPU plugs here. 4.
Well, it kind of varies between different motherboards. Some use a 6, some use a 4.
The nice thing about this one actually uses 8. Uses 8 additional power for the CPU over and above the normal power plug.
Well, if you on the left-hand side of the motherboard, when you lay it down on the left-hand side of the CPU, there's usually a 4-pin plug there.
Yes, it's 8-pin on mine.
Yes,
it's much bigger on mine.
Yellow and black.
Yeah. Now I got to find where I put that cable.
Yeah. So.
Oh, I haven't taken it out of the box. Oh, there it is. Holy crap. A whole nother side of cables here.
Yeah. Anybody work television in Canada over the last 20 years? You ever heard of Fast Forward?
Fast Forward.
It was a magazine program that that was in syndication in Canada and also aired on Lifetime some back 20 years ago. I just wonder if I had it pronounced it right so I can refine those, because there was some information in that old videotape I was looking for.
Ah, yeah, I heard of that program. I never worked on that program, but I did hear about it.
Yes. And beyond 2000, I've found, somebody's put up all the old programs. That's an Australian magazine show similar to Fast Forward.
Oh, okay.
Are you talking about like the television program Fast Forward?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, because
not a comedy show, not a comedy show. It's a magazine show similar to Beyond 2000. That was around 10 years before Tech TV.
Yeah, the reason I mention it, one of them, the favorite show of mine that I'm always talking about is Reboot, and Fast Forward actually did the making of Reboot here in '95.
Right. Reboot.
3D Printing Trucker corrected me. It is positive air pressure in the box.
Yes.
So I'm going to put it out to you guys that are all over in the chat right now. on YouTube because you don't want to join us over here in the broadcast room. This is me
Well,
being
hey,
a
open
jerk.
it up. You can come in and ask questions live, right?
Yeah. I need a name for this. We got to name this thing yet.
Otherwise, I'm going to call it Streamosaurus Rex.
Streamosaurus Rex or Rex?
Rex works too.
Yeah.
Streamosaurus Rex.
Yeah.
If I have to do the RGB lighting in here, it may become a Sith build.
Ooh.
Then I might break out the airbrush.
Yeah, mine's pretty close to Sith coloring right now. It's all red. I don't know if this will get a good glance of it there, but
yes, yours is very Sith.
Yeah.
Yep.
Now, for the general studio lighting, is lighting you up. It's nothing elaborate, is it?
No, I've just got 2 soft boxes and an overhead. The 2 soft boxes just have studio quality CFL bulbs in them. So they're nothing fancy. I mean, they're less than $100 for that kit.
The color temperature's okay.
Rover saying that we should call it millennial. SP. Millennial. Millennial? I guess that's the way you pronounce that. I'm from Canada. I don't understand. Okay, now that I'm thinking about it, I might change all the fans to RGB.
Yeah, if it's the same price, I guess.
Yeah, I'm just gonna go look on the our favorite website, the Local Boys. So what fans can I put in here? Let's see again. I have to look at book.
So anything you've ordered from overseas lately has cost more?
A little bit.
And
Yeah,
here in the States, and some things, they got a 25% tariff on it.
Yeah, you're going to see that creep into the 3D printing world too. For those guys that order from China, their filaments and stuff.
Some of the machine parts are a little bit more expensive than they were last year.
Well, that's
right.
That tariff on the aluminum and everything, right? Non-steel.
Just on the metal, on pulleys, gears, and consumables like hot ends and tips, nozzles, stuff like that. A little bit more expensive. I just recently went to a trade show here, and all the guys are just selling stuff made out of solid gold. None of the parts for my Chinese machine. They were all patent parts. Nothing open source. Made me a little mad.
Holy crap.
Yeah, we haven't noticed too much of an impact here, at least on the tariffs. It's more so the decline of the Canadian dollar. Right now, I think we're trading at $1.35 to the American dollar, so it's pretty high.
Yeah. So was the exchange rate $1.35?
Yeah. Yeah, it's steep.
Now, would they let you buy things in Detroit and carry it over the border?
Oh yeah,
they will, but it you have to be there 24 hours?
Yeah, well, if you ship it across, your exemption is a whopping $20. If you stay there, is it greater than 24 hours? It's $100, and if you stay there later, or greater than 48 hours, it's $800 per person.
Wow.
So if you can justify a stay, the problem is the closest we got here to the border is is Sweetgrass, Montana. It's not exactly a paradise, you know.
I
You
hear
got to drive
that.
8 hours to the nearest Walmart almost. But if we were in like Ontario and go down to Detroit or even scoot over to Duluth or anything like that, that'd be awesome. But yeah.
They just won't let you declare it as your personal luggage as you go for the border.
Well, you can lie. I mean, it's just a matter of, you know, stretching the truth. You shouldn't, but everyone does.
Okay, so I can pick up regular quiet edition fans, or are they quiet edition?
Okay, what you probably want, I know that they're uglier than sin, but the Noctua NF12s?
Yeah. Yeah, no, they're the NFA 14s, the 140s.
The kind with the good aluminum frames and nylon fans.
No, these are all plastic frames. But Noctua has the best fan on the market by far. Although some of the other fans, like Corsair's, really stepped up their game.
Oh, have they?
Corsair stepped up their game. Fractal Design has stepped up their game. Thermaltake has stepped up their game. Everybody's pretty much stepped up in terms of putting out quiet, high-pressure fans. I'm just not in the mood to pay $34 for a fan.
Mm-hmm.
The kind with ball bearings, or kind with the bronze bearing that goes to shit after so many hours.
No, these will be ball bearing ones. Oh, they got quite a few of these sitting down in the southeast. They've got the Air Series AF120s, the LED red quiets, high airflow, 120 mil fans. What's the airflow is 52.19 CFM at 12 volts. That's good. Static pressure is 0.75 millimeters H2O.
So there's pretty much guaranteed to install them and forget it.
Yeah, and these are 25.2 dBs at 12 volts. That's actually not bad.
Not as bad as a hairdryer or something.
No, it's actually a lot less than a hairdryer.
These things are, well, I've got, I want to say 5 of them running in my case right now here. And
yeah.
You can't even hear them.
You're running the Noctuas, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Anybody else out there with computer suggestions that is in the chat right now? Got any suggestions for fans?
Now, if you have a lot of dry heat in there, there's no worry of static electricity, is it?
No.
You know, you can get a pretty good shock out here, but I have to admit the grounding is pretty good here. I haven't smoked anything yet.
I haven't smoked anything either. I'm really surprised.
But alcohol and a little bit of Downy fabric softener in a spray bottle and spray the floor so you don't track static.
No, I'll be doing this with alcohol in a spray bottle. Oh, that's Jack Daniels in a spray bottle. Sorry, different alcohol.
But that kills the static, you know, that I've used to treat the workshop floor I've got. Has got these chair protector mounts. I believe they're made out of some kind of polyethylene.
Mm.
Yeah,
and
I got one of those here
static. But yeah, and I just keep it coated with that a little bit of fabric softener.
See, here's the thing. Calgary is dry, but this year it actually hasn't been too bad. Right now we're sitting at we're at to 64% humidity, so it's actually a bit warmer than I thought.
Mm-hmm.
I guess nobody wants to join us.
Well, I realized I didn't post. You know, I posted saying we're going to do one, but I don't think I actually posted one on the group, so I just posted it.
Oh, Yeah, come on over. Join us. We'll be here
Yeah.
for a while.
Threw one on Twitter there, so
I guess I'm invited tomorrow night, I guess.
Yeah, if I'm still doing this tomorrow night, I may actually be done this by tomorrow night, but oh no, I'll probably still be doing it tomorrow night because I'll have to make sure I've got all the standoffs I need.
Well, at least I'm learning something.
What's that, Bri?
Sorry, are you still missing standoffs?
No, the standoffs that are with this damn thing, they are, because they were all powder coated. They don't thread worth the shit because it's such a fine thread. So you're cross threading them. So I'm just going to bring home the brass ones that I have at the shop, and I'm going to install the brass ones in here.
So they powder coated it and didn't chase the threads.
Nope.
No wonder it won't go together anyway.
There you go. So yeah, I'm just going to pull all the standoffs out of here and just put in the proper standoffs.
Yeah.
And the one that they've got in the center, that's got the little post on it.
Oh, the one that's only supposed to be installed 50% of the time. Good luck.
Yeah. Yeah. The post is so big it barely fits through the hole on the motherboard. So I'm going to switch that one out too.
Good thinking. Then
I'll just put in just a little screw. And then this thing will be, we'll have it at home all weekend. We'll probably test with it all weekend. We'll get Windows loaded up on it. We'll get, what else are we going to load up on it? I think I should probably load up vMix on it. Test vMix. Download all of the Adobe suite that I use. And put my Simplify 3D on it.
Yeah, that's one thing I noticed because I've got a new laptop I'm playing with right now, and that Simplify 3D is just a single license, so you got to make sure to transfer it, and Lord knows what happens.
Well, you can use it on 2 machines.
Can you?
Yes.
Okay.
Because I'm using it here at home and I'm using it at the shop. So your license allows you to put it on 2 computers.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry, everyone. I realized my camera, which makes it even more confusing. I set to horizontal flip because on Hangouts it shows backwards, but on YouTube it's backward again.
Well, now it's right to me because before I was reading everything backwards. I thought I was going to have to start talking in tongues.
Right, but literally my preview window in Google Chrome, everything is backwards.
Oh, yeah. My preview window is backwards too.
Oh, man, that's misleading.
So, yeah. So anybody that's in the chat right now that's still here, I think we got 9 people watching. Anybody that wants to join us in the chat, go ahead. Anybody that wants to join us over here on the live broadcast, you can. We are hanging out in a Google Hangout. It took me a while to figure it out, but we figured it out. It's been so long since I used Google Hangout as a streaming platform.
That's okay. I've just been playing with OBS the whole time. That's why you're seeing all this fun stuff on my screen.
I'm kind of wondering if I shouldn't use OBS at home. Okay,
so what you may want to consider, and this is what I'm running right now, is I've set OBS to be a webcam, and you could feed that into vMix.
I suppose I could. Yeah.
Because
I think I can run. Let me just open up the Doomahickey here. I think I can run. Yeah, I can run vMix right into here.
Yeah.
So I can switch cameras with vMix. So, yeah, if I want to run vMix, all I have to do is fire up vMix, and then all of my cameras will be running.
Mm-hmm. And it doesn't take a lot to set it up. That second camera you're seeing is actually in a different room altogether. That's just a YawCam IP camera.
Okay. So you're bringing that in through IP?
Yeah.
Well, the nice thing about vMix is even if I want to bring in another computer, I can bring it in via NDI.
Right.
Any wireless source I can bring in through NDI as well into vMix, which is a great little. 4 more, please hit the thumbs up button and thank you. Oh, yeah. Thank you there,
Yeah,
Rover.
send some dings, you know?
Dings. Is your girlfriend laughing in the background?
Yeah, she's watching a Japanese cooking show that's I don't know how to describe it.
Well, that's okay. We still love her. We just got to get her to come out of the house once in a while.
Yep. Oh,
Now,
we lost Rick there.
oh, now here is something that I never thought I'd see with this power supply. Check those out.
Oh man, I love 4-pin Molex.
Some nice Molex cables.
The fire starter.
Yep. And you know what these ones are labeled? Peripherals. But fortunately enough, they give you one of these. I'm assuming these are a fan header.
Yep.
That is attached to a Molex. So that goes with that. Then we've got one. Jesus Christ. We got 2 8-pin CPU cables.
Oh yeah. Because your motherboard doesn't use it, but I think mine, I've got to feed about 8 pins in.
I've got 8 pins on mine.
Oh yeah?
Yep. Yeah. This board is definitely 8 pins. Yeah, it's an 8-pin.
You know what's hilarious is if you tear down that power supply, all those wires go to the exact same header.
Really?
Yeah, they don't really feed any extra voltage rails usually.
Yeah, there's the board there.
Joe Gumby, hello.
Joe Gumby. So that's the one stick of RAM we're using right now.
The whopping value RAM.
The whopping value RAM, yeah. But hey, 16 gigs, it's what we need.
Hey, you guys.
What's going on, Joe?
Yep.
Welcome to the party.
We were building a new computer for the studio, but we ran into a small issue. Whereas
I'm getting quite a delay here on the audio.
It shouldn't be. You should be getting it almost direct. Let me get that in there. Get in the box. Okay, so what we're getting is so should we make this PC into a Sith build? What do you think? Because it does have a window.
And we have access to lots of really nice blood red filament.
Yeah. And if I really need it, I have access to a laser engraver.
Now that is tempting.
There's a ton of plexiglass right there.
And you haven't gone and peeled it off yet.
No.
Is the side panel acrylic or tempered glass?
It's acrylic. But based on the way that this thing is in here, oh no. I was going to say you could almost pop it out, but well, you could pop it out.
Is that one glued or is it?
No, it's got little tabs.
Oh, the rivets.
They're actually tabs that are folded up.
Oh.
So, and there's no special plastic on the inside. I'm sad. I don't get to rip off 2 pieces, only 1. But you know what? I should take that over to Mel Jacinto and get a laser engraving done on that. What do you think?
Oh, that'd be sick. And then use some red LEDs or whatever to highlight the laser.
Oh, I could do that. I have red LEDs.
Who doesn't have red LEDs?
That is almost a plan worth forming. Yes. Get rid of the 2 stock fans that are in here. Put in 4 red LED fans. Because I can... Oh, wait a second. Wait a second. The wheels are turning. What can I put at the back of this? The back will take... Oh, back will only take 120. That's okay. So we put a 120 red in the back. We put 3 120 reds in the front. We have 2 240s for the rad up on top. They all glow red. When we update the RAM, we make sure that that goes red. And then we cut it, we engrave the Empire logo on the side of that case.
There's some thinking. But we got to release it all before Disney takes us down.
Yeah. They can go just Sith themselves. That actually is that's almost a sexified plan, that one.
I like it.
Because you won't see anything from the front except through the side grills, right? Where the air intake is.
Pretty much.
And then I break out the airbrush on the front here. You know, this is plastic. Why don't I 3D print? Oh, now my wheels are really turning. Why don't I 3D print a canopy from a TIE fighter? And then put that on there. Hello, how are you? Raymond Emsley. Hello, Raymond Emsley.
Rover, are you still going on about CBS?
CBS is Star Trek, not Star Wars.
No, he's been harping on about that Discovery lawsuit.
Oh yeah. I'm not following that right now.
It's too much to follow.
Tired, but it's my normal state, he says. So anybody that wants to join us over here on the actual live, if you've got any questions about 3D printing or this freaking case I'm building in, have at her. Come on over, ask some question.
One mod I did to my case here. I took Plasti Dip and I dipped the grills red.
Oh, nice. Oh, so that is nice.
That normally comes in a stock black there, so it was just a rattle can, and yeah, it's held up pretty good for what, 2.5 years.
Is that the Air 540?
That is the 540. Yep.
Yeah,
that is cool.
I used to have one of those myself.
I just kept on wanting to get bigger and bigger cases, and that was the biggest thing I could find. So
I went up from that to a Thermaltake X9.
Nice.
Probably twice the size of the Air 540.
Yeah, that thing's a beast.
I'm not going to put any case badges on this either.
Man, that photo's so misleading until you realize the front bays are those tiny little slots that look like hard drive bays.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's bad. I shouldn't be getting inspiration from this sort of stuff.
Yeah, Yeah, this case got them in a bit of trouble because they were accused of copying case labs with the modular case design.
Well, hopefully they dragged out the lawsuit because Case Labs went out of business, didn't they?
Yeah, they dropped it because it was they were Case Labs went after Thermaltake over it and dropped it just because it's kind of tough to be unique in a computer case now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, you can only go so far with a PC case. I mean,
does that thing have room for dual power supplies?
Yeah.
and
four 460 radiators.
That is amazing.
Yeah, it'll take a couple 200 mil fans in the front if you get rid of the drive cages.
Yeah, who needs drives anymore?
Yeah, I found that was a little too much real estate in there, though. You try to fill it up and it just looks empty.
Yeah, that's why I like the Air 540 is the back half, which right now houses one giant Arduino Nano. It doesn't look so empty.
Yeah, I'd done a custom water cooling loop in mine and had the pump and reservoir on the backside.
yeah, I'm gonna just do all in one, which I haven't even really looked at. I guess I should look at it. I did take the plastic off it. So I'm doing this Master Liquid by Cooler Master.
Yeah, 240 mil radiator on that one?
Yeah. It's got a 240 on it and 2 addressable fans and a whole bunch of other crap.
Has it got the controller in it then for the RGB?
Yes, it does. It comes with its own controller if you want to use that. If not, you can just use the one that's on the motherboard. And I think that's what I'm going to end up doing is using the one on the motherboard because the motherboard, I can control everything through the UFI or UEFI. And there's no thermal paste on the block. Yay. I hate when they do that.
Yeah, that stuff's always caked on there pretty good, and it's such a pain in the ass to clean it off.
At least sometimes they go with the pads, and they're not great, but they do the job.
Yeah, I mean, it's not great. This stuff, I think this one comes with its own. I mean, I probably should. I've got some Arctic Silver around here somewhere. I think I've got Arctic Silver 5 around here somewhere. So
I'm pretty sure everyone has some Arctic Silver 5 somewhere.
Yeah. Oh, this comes with its own little thing of Arctic Silver right in there. So it's got its own little syringe of Arctic Silver. But it also has a little controller for the RGBs. And why do people do RGB? What is it with you millennials and RGB?
Oh, I can't really critique you because I really am at the far end of millennial, but I'm still technically a millennial.
So this is the this is the user manual.
Oh, I forgot to check. In that case you bought, is there an open hole behind where the processor normally sits?
Yes.
Okay. Some of them they aren't there, and then when you go to install the cooler after you've placed the motherboard, and you're like, oh.
No, it's all in there.
Nice.
Little thermal paste.
You just have to double check that you can reach all 4 of the screws in the back through it. Sometimes the processors are not lined up with the holes in the back plate.
Yeah, this one's got a big generous hole.
Yeah,
that's what she said.
Yeah, I had one where it didn't line up. I had every time I needed to change something with the heatsink, I had to take the main board off.
Oh yeah. Well, that's interesting. So this one can be used with any LGA 2066, 2011, V3, 2011. What else has it got in here? You can use it with the 1366, 11, 5X, and 775 socket sets,
I
as
think the
well
only
as.
thing we don't work with is like 2011s.
No, this one works with 2011 as well.
Oh, okay.
It also does AM4, AM3 plus, AM2 plus, FM2, FM2, and FM1.
It sounds like the other one it won't do is Threadripper.
Nobody cares about Threadripper.
Well, with valid reason. Have you seen the die size of Threadripper?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Name the computer that.
I think Rover
Name
needs
the-
to sleep there.
I think Rover either needs to start smoking something or he needs to go to bed.
He's either smoked too much or smoked too little. Either way, he hasn't smoked just the right amount.
Rover's probably sitting back going, "Thanks, guys, making fun of me." It's okay, Rover. We still love you. Yeah, and I won't do like what's his name there did Jay on Jay's 2 cents. They were taking apart a board, and that's what they forgot to do.
What step was that there?
Take the plastic off the bottom.
Taking
Oh,
the plastic off the bottom. They opened it, or was it Jay, or was it that other idiot? I think it was Jay's 2 cents, or maybe it was Bitwiz or Bitwit. One of those two guys, yeah, they did not take the plastic off the bottom of the pump, and they'd been running it for months like that.
well, hey, if it's power efficient, right?
Yeah.
I feel so bad. I've been watching a bunch of PC Master Race threads where someone's like, I built my computer. I can't figure out, there's nowhere to plug the video in. And every top comment is, did you remove the little plugs from the back of the GPU?
Yeah.
Ah, shit.
Well, fortunately enough, this one that we're putting in doesn't require any additional power.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
And you know
I'm
what?
pretty
That
happy about that.
1050 Ti, is it a Ti or?
Yeah, it's a TI.
That thing is going to blow you away on performance. That's what pretty much all my gaming laptops have. And they can hold its own.
Rover goes millennial. So yeah, that's it right there.
It's such a baby.
It is so small, isn't it?
It's going to look so tiny in that case.
I know.
Hey, but if
you
you
know
put some
what?
photos, people will sympathize. They don't need to know it's a 1050. Just be like, I
Yes.
need a bigger GPU.
But it will handle 3 monitors at the same time. So it's got one display port, one HDMI, and one DVI. So the display port I'll have to get an adapter to go to one of the monitors on my desk. The other one can go to DVI, and then the HDMI will go up to the television, the confidence monitor that's on the wall.
If you can, go DP to HDMI because it's like HDMI to DVI. It's just a straight pass through. And
I
those
can't on
cables
those
are-
monitors. I either have to go DVI or I have to go VGA.
oh,
Those
really?
monitors are pretty old that I've got at the shop.
If I can find the power supply here, I got a donor for you.
Power supply for
24-inch.
what?
Well, for an LG monitor because
Oh,
LG is
okay.
ridiculous.
Well, I've got 2 LG sitting in front of me.
Yeah, what do I got here? I've got actually. This is weird. I'm running all Acers for once, so I've got a 144 hertz here and a 2760 but touchscreen monitor right here.
Oh, nice.
Pick
I've
up some-
got an LG here, and I've got an identical LG right here. So there's one LG,
nice.
there's 2 LG.
Those are
and
good
there's something
monitors,
that's-
man.
They're great monitors. I love them. So I don't have that Batman look or that Batman villain look. So Rover wants us to name it Millennial. That's too close to Melanie. I went out with a Melanie. She was a bitch. Oh, did I say that publicly?
Whoops.
Whoops. Yeah, kids shouldn't be watching my show anyway.
That's
Not
okay.
tonight.
And if you hear me coughing away here, no, I'm not being an alcoholic or anything.
Liar.
This is wicked ginger beer. Holy smokes, is it spicy?
Really?
Oh, yeah.
So we may be continuing this build tomorrow night. I think I'll bring home my box of stuff, and we'll finish this build tomorrow night, and then we'll fire it up. I'll use up one of these LGs, and then we'll fire it up. Who is? So our next round of keychains, Brian.
Yeah.
What keychains do you think we should do? Should we 3D print our next ones?
I mean, those laser etched ones do look nice.
Yeah, but I find mine's already starting to wear out. I don't know. You've got yours, right?
Yeah, mine sits atop my bag. Apart from it sitting upside down when it's tied to things, it's been pretty robust. But what would be awesome is try running them in one of those like carbon fiber filaments or something.
Yeah. I think I'm going to cut a hole in the front of this though, and I'm going to put on a canopy from a TIE fighter.
Well, here's an idea for you. I'll see if I can pull it up. It was on the CR. I think it was on the CR10 group this week. Somebody went and printed the logo from The Witcher 3 and stuck it on their liquid cooler, like right on the pump. That
I want to see. So Rover's really asking me to name it Millennial after the kids today.
Technically, it's the millennial generation's done, though, I thought. What do you call kids in 2018? This is going to be a good Google search.
There you go.
Oh, wow. What generation am I and what do they mean? Let's see here. Millennials are born between 81 and 2000.
So
anyone born after 2000 is Generation Z. That's the Canadian way we call it.
Wow. Generation Z. So then what was my year?
Generation took everything from the Z and millennials.
Generation that isn't going to get CPP?
Well, we ain't going to give away your age or anything here, but 1900 to 45 is traditionalists, and 46 to 64 is boomers. And then 65 to 80 is X.
Did you say 65, 40 to 60?
46 to 64 is the boomers.
Oh, I'm in the boomers category.
Yeah.
I'm a boomer.
At least you're not a traditionalist, or we'd be having some
3D printing trucker goes, I call most of them worthless.
Pain in my right ass, that's what they are.
There we go. So we have this little stick right here. As soon as I untangle it. There we go. We have this little stick right here that has our Windows 10 on it.
Nice.
So we'll be installing that tomorrow. I'm wondering if I should take some of the drives out of the other machine tomorrow after the live stream.
Do you think you're going to honestly have it up and ready to edit tomorrow night?
Oh, fuck no.
Then,
because I'm going to have to put the OS on one of these.
Mm-hmm.
And I think because they're just 240s, I should run them in RAID 0.
Really?
Or should I just run one as the OS and the other one as the cache drive?
Given the age of those, I would run them in RAID 1. I'd mirror them. I don't think you'd notice that much of a performance loss.
Well, this is really going to be for it's an interim solution, because once we get the M.2 for the OS.
Oh yeah, then it's night and day.
Yeah. So we're going to install one of those, and then I think I might install a second one to handle caching, just strictly handle caching.
Like as a scratch disk or something, or
Yeah.
yeah.
And then use the
If you're only running a limited number of apps, you can get away with just a single drive as your OS and application drive.
Yeah, well, that's what I was going to do. Is I was just going to use one drive as my apps and OS, and then I wanted to use one as a scratch disk, and proxy drive for Premiere Pro, and then use the larger mechanical drives for storage of all the media.
Oh man, I keep looking over at my print and I'm getting so mad at that one line that it just
What
this
are you
Amazon
printing?
filament is the bane of my existence.
Is that stuff you just got a big box in of?
No. That was good quality filament. This is one this print's on going on 5 days now. Yeah. That's
Rover's asking you about the GPL printed solid thing. Yeah, I know that there's an Offenders 3D printer Offenders, and I have actually contacted them, and I referenced them in Monday's episode as well. Look at the non-compliant companies. I did before I did that episode.
I'm actually surprised that TiVo is almost fully compliant. They just have to release the source on that Michelangelo.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess they are all copies of Creality, so.
Yeah. Rover actually made a really good point. I can clone these onto the M.2s when we're ready to put the M.2s in.
I think so. Yeah, last time I checked, I don't think it impacts UEFI unless you're doing secure boot.
Yeah, I'm not doing secure boot, so
yeah, I don't know why anyone would run it, but to each their own.
You know, these the RAM, these two of these, and the license cost me 2 rolls of filament.
Yeah, I mean, I have to get my my keys from less than legit sources sometimes, so I may have to.
I don't know where this key came from. It was just in a text file. It was only one key, so
nice.
I've copied it to my desktop on this machine. So when I go to load up Windows tomorrow, I probably won't run any updates until I'm satisfied with the way it's running.
You should what you should do is install the OS, activate it, and then use like Acronis free and image the OS. That way, if something goes wrong, you got something to roll back to.
Yeah, that's actually a good idea. Semi-compliant, yes. There are many semi-compliant companies out there, Creality being one of them. And as I've stated in the past, for you guys that are watching the stream right now and are questioning Monday's episode, I am a supporter, and I'm going to look right into the camera for this. I am a supporter of the GPL. I've written software. I know what the GPL is. Here's the problem. My biggest sponsor for the show sells products from companies that are not completely compliant, like Creality. So I have to support the person that's supporting me. Does that make sense?
Well, you got to take it in a little bit of with a grain of salt too, because there was a guy recently, I think it was like last year or 2 years ago, that made a big fuss chasing after Sony because they didn't follow GPL compliance on one of their Blu-ray players.
Mm.
And he was demanding the source code, and people were saying, well, why, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, there's no point in chasing it around. I agree they should be. At the end of the day, I'm not too concerned because I can still flash my own firmware onto it. You know?
Yeah, me too.
What worries me is the CRX going forward and all these printers that are putting in custom LCDs, because that firmware is not open source, and
nope.
If that goes, it gets a little bit ugly making it work.
So non-compliant companies has grown since I did the original Monday's episode. So they've added Abecky, AIBECY.
I think that's the one that what's his name's channel just covered. That's another CR10 clone.
Mm. And of course, semi-compliant companies are JG Aurora, TiVo, Creality. Wow, did they ever change that list? They've got 3. Wow.
I'm glad it's making news, honestly.
Yeah, so am I. Zone Star is now 100% compliant. Since when?
Download center, user guide download link, operation firmware download link. They posted it on Google Drive. That's kind of concerning, but let's have a look. Source code. Yeah.
Wow.
Sure enough.
I know Prusa is. They've always been right from day one.
Oh, yeah. Joseph has done some amazing stuff.
Oh, yeah, absolutely he has. So at the end of the day, you know, I have to support the people that's, you know, give us a studio to do the show in every week, and allow us to go there and hang out and use resources when we need it. And that's really kind of the end all and be all for that. But as far as the CRX goes, I'm not a huge fan of that printer. For anybody that is watching this right now, I will tell you straight up that the CRX, in my mind, is the biggest piece of crap they have done. And I'll tell you why. It wastes more filament than any other machine I've seen. So if that is something that, if anybody's interested in the CRX, because it does 2 colors, don't waste your money. There's better machines out there for the price.
That, and they are experimenting quite a bit lately too. I know
they are.
We'll probably be talking about this tomorrow, but the LD001 finally got a price.
Oh, did it?
Yeah, $599 US.
Wow.
So, you know, when it's more
supposed
expensive,
to be getting one of those for a review.
Well, I got a. I asked Jack about that earlier, and his response was, maybe. So take it however you please there. But I mean, you know, it's going to be hard, even if we get a review model, it's going to be hard to recommend a unit that costs more than the Photon and pretty much looks identical.
3D printing trucker over in the chat on YouTube is saying no way he'd get a CRX when you can get the Palette 2 for less money. Absolutely.
I would cautiously agree with him, but you know, the big thing to remember too is the Palette 2 is just the feeder. You still need to have a whole printer attached.
Yeah, exactly.
So, but
it's a much better solution.
But what I've found, and I'll be honest with this now, is I've been trying to reach out to Creality for well over a month to see if they would sell me that nozzle, or give me more info on that nozzle, because otherwise the machine has a slightly different spin-off from a Wanhao duplicator i9, but everything looking at it is compatible directly with the CR10. So,
Yeah.
hey, if I could buy the nozzle and slap it on my machine, it takes one chip to solder for me to make a dual extrusion, but they don't want to open that up. And, you know, that's terrifying. If any of you have smoked a nozzle before, if it goes, you're done now.
3D printing trucker saying he's got a printer, so I think he's got that covered.
You mean 7, right? Where we're expecting our donation soon?
Oh, he's getting a donation printer?
No, I'm saying we need a donation printer.
Well, we have 5. One is just on the floor that needs to be fixed.
Yeah, that's true.
We're actually going to bastardize that one, though. We're going to probably take that apart and use some of those parts on our monster build coming up for Patreon.
Whoa, Rover, way to go, buddy. Getting a Flash Forge for free?
Nice. I don't want a dual extruder machine. I don't. I've got no use for one.
I kind of want a dual nozzle as an option. And, you know, when I eventually do build a big Core XY, I think I want to put one on there, but with independent nozzles, because I really do want to look into those soluble filaments.
Oh, look at that. I can get all the PC screw kits I need.
Oh, don't even bother looking into PC screws. They're all like M3s. Just take what you got at the shop.
Yeah, it's standoffs, though. I don't know if I get enough standoffs at the shop.
Just go to Memory Express. They usually sell a bucket of them.
Yeah, you can buy a pack of 50 of them, just the standoffs.
And then you can start using them for Raspberry Pis. For anything you got left over.
Oh, Raspberry Pis. Oh, they're out of stock of the pack of 50s.
Really?
Yeah. And then the other pack of 50 is special order. Why the fuck would that be special order?
They just listed on their warehouse for the sake of it.
I probably have enough standoffs in my stuff at the shop. I'm sure I do. They're M3s. I'm sure that I do. Rover says you'll only use one nozzle, LOL.
You know, the thing is, my background was, it's in mechatronics, and at my college, we had the machine that was dual head that did that soluble filament, and man, the results are just pristine. If you're looking for designing mechanical parts, there's just certain things you can do with that you cannot do with a single nozzle. So,
gotcha.
And honestly, the biggest quirk with it is you're going to lose a little bit of bed space if you're only using one of the 2 extruders. So,
gotcha. You know what? I didn't realize, but Super Chat's open because we're live streaming on our channel. Oh,
that's nice. Okay. I'm the only one who pays you.
Yeah, that's true.
Honestly, that's true. I laugh. I watch a couple other channels there, and when they go live, people are just super chatting, saying the stupidest things. I'm like, hey, if you got $60 to say something stupid, go for it.
Yep, that's what I say too. Go for it.
We're at the point here where if you do a super chat, we'll read it. You know, we've probably already got our explicit flag for the night. So
I dropped a few too many F-bombs. But it is 9:30, and I think I'm going to go push my ass into bed because I need to take off my knee brace. And 7 o'clock comes early.
Yeah, it creeps up on us.
Yep. So thank you everybody who's watching and has been watching. And Rover, thank you for moderating for us tonight over on YouTube. I appreciate it. We will be doing our regular live stream tomorrow afternoon at 1:30 Mountain Standard Time. If you can come, great. If you can't, well, you can watch it in the replay later on. let us know what you think. We're going to be talking about Superman tomorrow, and we're going to be talking about the arcade machine that I am working on. So there you go. We are going to say good night.
Good night,
Say
guys.
good night.
Night, guys.